Hello my friends, welcome to Pro-Am Strings. I'm Henriette and this lesson is called Calm. You've done the hard part, and that is showing up and getting ready to play. So from now on it's getting easier. It's lovely to see you here today, and we're going to work on mindfully placing our left hand fingers on the violin today. So at first you will just need your violin, and then later on we'll play a little bit with the bow as well. Now let's get started, as usual, with our breath. So find your comfortable stance. So you might place your feet either hip width apart or step forward a tiny bit with your left foot. Make yourself comfortable. And then as we're starting our practice, let's check in with our breath. And let's breathe in through your nose. And try to send that breath all the way down into our belly. So let's take a couple of very deep breaths here. And then out through the mouth. Take a deep breath in again. And make your exhale longer and longer every time. And whilst we get settled in, really focus on standing up tall. And letting go of the day thus far. So that in a moment we can really focus on those left hand fingers. One more deep breath in. And your deepest breath out. Lovely stuff, well done. So let's now place your violin mindfully on your shoulder, and this might take two different forms. We know that one way to place that violin mindfully on your shoulder is to come from above, place it onto your collarbone like this, or you might start with this button, start in the center here and then slide it up your collarbone, whatever is your preferred method. And then as you have placed that violin properly on your shoulder, check in straight away again with the breath. So take in one more very deep breath. And out again. So we connect with the breath all the time. And you will have noticed that for the past 11 lessons we have not missed a single lesson where we haven't connected with our breath. And that must always, always come first when you play the violin. Now in our previous lesson we have found out exactly how your violin fits into that little V shape between your thumb and your index finger. And I want you to place your left hand at the beginning of the string here so that the crease that we've also talked about, where your index finger is attached to your hand, is level with the E string. And your thumb, and I want you to focus on your thumb today as well, is just loosely lying here, so it's not squeezing at all, but just loose here, just peeking over the edge, so that you've got about half of your fingernail sticking up above the fingerboard. So that is a bit too high and that is a bit too low. See if you can get it just there. Lovely stuff. And then just check that crease again where your finger is attached to your hand, so that that is level with the E string. I don't know if you can see it like that. And once you've got that, I want you to stretch your fingers up, but make it a soft stretch, so you don't squeeze them out like that, but a gentle stretch. And now we're going to place your index finger, gently making it round, placing it on the A string and then lifting it up. And as you lift up, I'd like you to breathe in. And then as you drop it down, breathe out. Breathe in again when you lift your finger up. And breathe out when you drop your finger on the string. And I'm saying drop your finger on the string. What I mean to say is when you gently place your finger on the string. Now pretend you've got a little rubber band going from your nail over the top of your finger onto your hand here, and as we lift up the finger, I'm pretending that I'm going to stretch this rubber band, and as we drop our finger down, or as we place our finger down, I'm going to gently release that rubber band and it will place my finger on the string. So have that image in your head of a little elastic band going over the top here. When you breathe in, it lifts up your finger, and when you breathe out, we're relaxing this band like that. I think indicate it like that with you. So breathe in, tighten the rubber band. When you breathe out, letting it go gently. And do that a few more times. Breathe in, lift your finger, breathe out, drop it down. And again, breathe in. Imagine that little elastic band tightening here, and I'm dropping it there. Let's work on your second finger now and do the same thing. Breathe in, lift your finger up, but gently, so you don't straighten it as far as you can straighten it, and then let it go. And you might even move your violin up and down. And whenever you place your finger on the string, make sure you come precisely in the middle of your pad on your fingertip. Up, breathe in, breathe out, place it very, very carefully. And again, breathe in as you lift it up, and then place it really particularly in the middle of your pad. Lovely job. Now let's work on the third finger. So breathe in, lift it up. Now this finger probably won't lift up as much as the other two fingers, so gently tighten that imaginary rubber band here and gently placing it back again whilst you breathe out. Breathe in gently and then gently down. And you can perhaps see that I'm moving with my violin, and we've said all along there's always movement here, and there is now as well. Fourth finger now. Pretend you're pulling over the top of your pinky. Now your pinky can perhaps go a little bit higher again, so pretend you're pulling this rubber band here and now placing it down by letting go in the middle of your pad. And again, this is multitasking to the full here, isn't it? Inhale, pretend you're pulling on that pinky here. Exhale, placing it again very, very gently. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Well done. Give your arm a well-deserved rest. And we're coming back straight away to that gentle, really gentle swing of your arm. And that should relax your shoulder really beautifully. So now, let's pick up your bow. And you will have noticed that I've already placed my violin on my shoulder and I've already got that relaxed stance. Now as we're inhaling, I'm going to play an up bow and I'm going to play an open string up bow, and I'm playing on the A string, so let's get ready at the point of your bow. And as I'm inhaling, I'm lifting my finger up, so I'm pretending to pull on that rubber band, remember? Here we go. And now hold it a moment. As you exhale, let's gently and mindfully place this first finger on the B, on the A string, and then exhale and play down bow. And let's practice that again. Inhale, pretend you're stretching that rubber band, and drop your finger, and up. noticing that you're not squeezing that finger down onto the string, but you're placing it really gently, so there is no excess pressure of your fingertip on the string. And once you've got that, you have made a fantastic discovery, because we don't need to squeeze that finger down quite as hard as some people do. So your breath, of course, helps you here, being more relaxed and being more mindful, but just notice how much less pressure you might have put on your finger just now when you placed it on the string. Now let's practice the same thing on the second finger. So again, I'm going to play an open A and inhale as I play up bow. And let's place it on the C sharp now. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And mindfully place it. One more time. That's awesome. Very good. Let's move on to the third finger now. So check over your left hand, check over that your elbow is nice and straight below the violin. We're starting at the point of the bow. Inhale as you play an up bow, open A string. Down bow third finger D, gently place your finger. Inhale. And again, inhale. And once again. Amazing. And I'm hoping that as you progress with this, that you feel that your shoulders are going back as well. We're still aiming for that openness that we've been talking about, and which you are getting really good at now. So we're starting to find a combination of all those things that we already know from this course, you see. So let this be your best go once we practice the fourth finger, and we're doing the exact same thing. So place your violin back onto your shoulder if you haven't already done so. Find that model of your left hand. Place the bow at the point and inhale on the open A. Exhale on the fourth finger. Inhale on open. And inhale. And now very mindfully place that pinky. And one last go. Wow, that is absolutely amazing. And I'm really interested to hear from you, and you might write in the comments section down below this video how this was for you. Is this different from how you normally play? And if so, in what way is it different? Were you able to connect with your breath? And if so, how did you manage it? And my third question is, were you able to imagine that rubber band? Have you ever imagined that before? So in the next few lessons, we're going to explore a little bit more about the mechanics of the left hand fingers. So I really look forward to seeing you again in lesson 12. Bye bye.